This week on the Husky Update.
The university closes res mail at an inopportune time as hundreds of students are receiving absentee ballots. Governor Baker announces an initiative to help tenants as an eviction moratorium expires. Protests continue globally in an attempt to root out police brutality in Nigeria. All this and more on this week's episode of the Husky Update.
Your campus, your news, all the time. From the Showman Studio, here is the Husky Update.
Hello and welcome to the Husky Update. I'm David Fatheree, reporting from the Shillman Studio. Our first story of the week is on recent eviction protection developments in Massachusetts. As a statewide eviction moratorium partially expires, the Baker administration has announced a $171 million initiative to protect people from being evicted. The Eviction Diversion Initiative, announced on Monday, October 12th, expands the maximum financial aid available to renters and small landlords, recalls retired judges to help mediate the increased caseload in the Massachusetts trial court system, and funds rehousing and legal assistance programs. Baker stated that he chose to let the moratorium expire because he feared the consequences of a rent and mortgage back payment cliff, where renters would be unable to pay off the combined debts if the moratorium lasted too long. However, following a lawsuit by landlords, U.S. District Judge Mark Wolf indicated that he would strike down the law if Baker extended it past the October date. The moratorium, initially passed in April and extended to October, was among the strongest in the country. An eviction moratorium put in place by the CDC earlier this year only applies to cases that would leave tenants homeless or to live in close quarters, and it requires they submit a specific form to their landlord to take effect. The Massachusetts moratorium blocked all residential evictions and foreclosures, with exemptions only in cases of criminal activity and health and safety violations. Tenant activist groups like Right to the City Boston and Urban Life/Vita Urbana have stated that while the additional financial aid is helpful, only a moratorium can truly protect people from evictions. A bill with broader protections than the governor's order is currently stalled in the state legislature. We now go to Edzani Kelapile with Rapid Fire.
Thanks, David. I'm Edzani Kelapile, and this is Rapid Fire. In campus news, the university is transitioning its mailing services back to pre-COVID operations. ResMail has moved back to its Spear mailroom on October 16th, and on the 17th, both the Spear and Matthews Arena mailrooms closed in order to complete the transition. The shutdown of mailing services comes as hundreds of students are receiving their absentee ballots for the November presidential election. Normal operations will resume at the Spear and Columbus mailrooms on October 19th. In other campus news, the university is easing its COVID-19 restrictions regarding indoor spaces and dorm rooms. As of Friday, October 16th, students will be allowed to bring one guest per housing unit from the same residence hall into their dorm rooms. Common rooms and lounges will also be expanding their open hours, and indoor seating will be available in all dining halls. Finally, student clubs and organizations will be able to reserve spaces for in-person gatherings in both outdoor spaces as well as inside the Curry Student Center. The university has decided to lift some of its restrictions due to the Boston campus completing over 250,000 COVID-19 tests over the past few months with a 7-day average positivity rate of 0.05%. In national news, many parts of the country have been facing new issues of voter suppression during the pandemic. The governor of Texas limited election drop boxes to 1 per county, even though many counties have over 1 million people. In California, the Republican Party admitted to putting up fake ballot boxes. The state ordered a cease and desist to get rid of unauthorized ballot boxes, but the California Republican Party announced Wednesday that they would not comply. In international news, protests continue in Nigeria as citizens call for the end of police brutality following the successful movement to dissolve the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, also known as SARs. While demonstrators welcomed the move, there are still concerns about police actions, especially as Amnesty International has reported that at least 10 people have been killed by police during the demonstrations. That's all for Rapid Fire. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Edzani. Kamala Harris has halted travel after 2 of her aides tested positive for COVID-19. The 2 aides were Liz Allen, Harris's communication director, and a flight crew member of Harris's plane. They were both last in contact with Harris on a flight on October 8th. Governor Charlie Baker announced in a statement that he will not support President Donald Trump's re-election campaign. Instead, he said he intends to focus on getting the pandemic under control. Baker has historically not supported Trump, including prior to the 2016 election. This week, both former Vice President Biden and President Trump held 2 town halls in lieu of a debate. We go to our election correspondents to give you the takeaways from both events.
Hi, I'm Ilana Gersten, and this is your NUTV News election update. Former Vice President Joe Biden answered questions from voters at a town hall on Thursday. The event kept a respectful tone throughout, even when moderator George Stephanopoulos live fact-checked Biden on his statements he made on the coronavirus. Biden remained respectful and acknowledged that Stephanopoulos was right and corrected his previous statement. Biden announced that he would reveal his official stance on court packing before Election Day, even though he is historically, quote, not a fan of it. Another pivotal moment occurred when Biden was asked if he would prosecute Trump, and his answer was vague. He said he would let the Department of Justice do what they want and they would have the best prosecutors, and that the DOJ would not be his personal lawyers. Biden also stressed that he wants unity for the country. He said, quote, I'm going to be an American president, and he would represent Americans that didn't vote for him. His theme of unity was present throughout the entire night, stating that there was no room for discrimination for those in the LGBT community.
President Donald Trump participated in a town hall hosted by NBC News on Thursday. The event was moderated by Savannah Guthrie and included questions from Guthrie as well as questions from undecided voters. Trump answered no in reply to whether masks were important, despite, as Guthrie noted, his administration being, quote, in unison about their importance. He then claimed that a CDC study found that 85% of people who wear masks do not get COVID, despite no such statistic being tracked. When asked to condemn the baseless far-right QAnon conspiracy theory, Trump never explicitly did so. He claimed to know nothing, but asserted that the people who subscribe to the conspiracy are fighting pedophilia. The QAnon conspiracy has been connected to the recent plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. One major topic during the night was Trump's finances. The president confirmed that he had a debt of over $400 million, but suggested that it was tiny compared to his wealth. Regarding to the $750 he paid in 2016 in federal income taxes, Trump asserted that it was only a statutory number. I've been Bela Omoeva, and this is your NUTV News Election Update.
Well, that's the news. The rest is up to you. Make sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with the Husky Update. My name is David Fatheree. Thank you for watching.